My name is Nguse Mangesha. I'm the director of the Africa Division, Voice of America. I used to work in my home country, Ethiopia. Actually, I worked under very difficult circumstances. There was total censorship. There's no freedom of the press. So imagine as a journalist, you are not free to report. I had to flee Ethiopia. That is late 70s, because I could not really practice my profession. I could not write freely. I could not speak freely. So I had to flee the country. It took me about 4 or 5 months actually to cross from Ethiopia to Sudan. And I ended up in a refugee camp in Sudan. I was sick. I had malaria. I had typhoid. I had fever. To be honest, I was on the verge of dying almost. So I was treated and I was cured from there. So after staying 3 months in the refugee camp, I went to Khartoum. As a refugee, you really go through so much difficulty. You lose your identity. You use yourself, who you are. You don't have a passport. You don't have even an ID. You don't have food to eat. You have to depend on United Nations rations. That's it. So I saw that, I went through that. When people talk about refugees, the plight of refugees, their suffering, I feel it, I know it. Not only that, as a reporter, since I came here in 1982, I was employed. Then the whole in 1980s, early 90s, I traveled to Sudan. There were over 1 million Ethiopian refugees. As the former refugee, now started reporting about the refugees, giving them the voice. The Amharic program, actually, Voice of America, became the voice for the voiceless in the refugee camp. Close to 40 years. I was not allowed to go in Ethiopia. I requested actually 5 times to get a visa because I'm a U.S. citizen. I can't fly in my own home country. I'm carrying U.S. passport. I need a visa. I was denied 5 times. So I was persona non grata, almost close 40 years. I went back October 13, 2018. That was an experience. Yeah. I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest. It's just, first I had a lot of anxiety. The idea of going back home after so many years. You know, it's like you go back there to visit the living ones and the dead ones. I was never there when my mom died. In fact, my mom came several times here, so almost for 25 years. I have seen her. But when she was sick, for the last days, I was not with her. I have never seen my dad. I missed him. He missed me. Without seeing each other, he died. I was never there when we were buried. So for the first time, I went to the burial site. I cried a lot, actually. I really cried a lot. But in a way, also, it was a closure. My highlight is definitely to see my mom's and my dad's burial site and meeting the new Prime Minister. I thanked him for opening up the political space, for allowing the media to operate freely. And actually, we're planning to strengthen our presence in that country. Hopefully, one day we'll have a VOA 24/7. I said, at the end of my visit, this is the most beautiful thing. That meeting for me was very, very important. Freedom of the press is close to my heart. I have seen journalists killed because they wrote freely, because they exposed corruption, mismanagement, or also injustice. So they wrote about it. So they lost their life. Still today, really many parts of Africa has serious problem in terms of the freedom of the press, free thought, free flow of information. So there is a big difference. Reporting here is like sitting in a paradise. You have all the freedom to research, to look for stories, report fact-based, of course, look for the balance. You can do that. You can criticize, or you can also give them positive stories. I think you have all the freedom compared to our colleagues on the continent. This place is more than a working place for me. It's like my family. I started as a reporter, then became senior editor. I became the Amharic chief. And then I moved to Central Africa, and I became the head. I started a new service from scratch in Kirundi, Kenya, Rwanda, 2 years after the genocide. Then I started the Zimbabwe service, Bambara service, Somali service, as I became a program manager. For the last 3 years, I have become the division director. Hope is extremely important, to be honest. Unless you hope, I don't think you will achieve. Unless you wish, unless you dream, you cannot achieve it. Hope is extremely important. If you lose hope, I think you lose yourself. So the dream and the hope became the truth. It just really happened. I was very happy to be back home.